And this isn't the first time someone associated with Paper Route Empire has been shot in Charlotte. In 2017, young Dolph's car was shot up in Charlotte.
Okay, so there's a news story I want to talk about that's coming out of Charlotte right now, but it's in regards to involving a Memphis rapper by the name of Grove Hero. Now, I said rapper, but let's be real. Grove Hero is a comedian. Grove Hero is known for being one of PRE's biggest representatives out there in social media, man. After the death of Dolph, he carried on the mantra. He basically put it out there that he was PRE till he DIE, you know what I mean? And he has been carrying that on his back almost solo in the public eye. Not to say a lot of the other members of PRE aren't out there proud and boasting about being members of PRE, but Grove Hero has done numerous interviews, done numerous lives on Instagram, and has even gotten into a fight with a CMG member by the name of Lil Migo, all in the name of PRE, all in the name of Young Dolph. Now, since Young Dolph's passing, it hasn't stopped for Grove Hero. But something else that hasn't stopped is the violence, man. It's actually ticked up a notch. Now, for those of you who don't know or I don't know, been living under a rock for a while, Young Dolph lost his life in Memphis after trying to go home to do a turkey giveaway. And, you know, he had his issues with a rap group, or I should say a rap label by the name of CMG. The wild part about it is, since Dolph lost his life, it seems like it's played out in social media, this whole battle between PRE and CMG. And one of the things that is wild about this story is people have been losing their life on both ends, be it in the streets, people just related to PRE, or in the streets, people related to CMG, but none bigger headlines than the death of Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, what happened, I believe, just a year ago. Now, Grove Hero has been vocal in his stance about still standing on that PRE mantle. He's basically defended Young Dolph out here in the public, right? He's been his public defender, or the person in public that's defended him the most. What's crazy is this news story about him getting shot in Charlotte. People are gonna say this is oddly similar to the fact that Young Dolph got shot at in Charlotte. Now, Young Dolph ended up coming on the ups in that situation, or being the winner in that situation, because he was moving right. He was out here in a bulletproof vehicle. They fired over 100 shots. It made headlines that Young Dolph ended up making it out of there. And, you know, he had saved his life in that situation. At least security, and the things that he had at his disposal in that shooting, you know what I mean, as far as like the bulletproof car and stuff, ended up saving his life, right? Now, with that being said, respectfully, Young Dolph loses his life several years later. But from that, he made one of his viral hits, 100 Shots. He also made his Bulletproof album, man. A lot of back and forth continued based on that shooting of Young Dolph, or shooting at Young Dolph in Charlotte, right? And the beef really took on a whole new head when people started losing their life, and respectively when Young Dolph lost his life. Well, what's wild with this is Grove Hero was just in Charlotte on his comedy tour. Now, Grove Hero has made something of himself. As a guy who was in the background of the music videos for Young Dolph, actually doing promo, you know, basically getting promotions for his food trucks, doing things around the local Memphis community, he's really done well for himself personally. You know what I mean? He's actually made a bag for himself out here, be it through his food truck ventures, or be it through him being a comedian and earning his living that way as well. He's also amassed a huge portfolio of properties throughout Memphis, so dude is really out here getting to the bag. What's wild is he ends up getting shot as well. So Grove Hero was reportedly shot in Charlotte, North Carolina, the same city that spawned or ticked up the beef a couple of notches between Yo Gotti's camp and Young Dolph's camp. And Grove Hero seems to be on the end of some bad news in that regard himself. So let's actually look at the news story about the shooting that took place with Grove Hero in Charlotte, man. And what's crazy is he actually went live himself on social media to talk about this after being shot. And it looks like he was in the best of spirits, but he didn't think he might make it out of this situation alive.
Oh, bro, hey, bro, you old, bro. Yeah, shot me, shot Ed, man.
Overnight, a Memphis comedian says he was shot in Charlotte, North Carolina. In an Instagram story posted hours ago, Grove Hero says he was shot in the spine. Grove Hero, whose real name is Mario Bradley, is a member of Young Dolph's Paper Route empire. He says he was in Charlotte, North Carolina for a comedy tour.
Now that's wild, man. So he's in Charlotte, North Carolina for a comedy tour. Nothing even around hip hop or around. Now I might say that a lot of the comedy, comedy, or the people going to his comedy shows, they might, it might be like a infused with the hip hop environment. Like there's probably a DJ there. They probably play hip hop music, but it's not really a rap show. People go to comedy shows. They're usually wearing their best outfit. They're usually taking out their girl or they're on a date or something. It's usually a chill time. So for him to be in town for a comedy show, it might be an easy time for some bad actors to catch him lacking. You know what I mean?
And Grove Hero is a pillar in the Memphis community. Earlier this year, a street was named in honor of him. The city hosted a street renaming ceremony for Bradley and Frazier back in March for all of his contributions to improving his hometown. The ceremony took place on Beacon Hill Drive, where Bradley grew up. Grove Hero has been investing in that neighborhood for years, working to fix up homes and clear blight. Bradley owns 12 properties on the street.
See what I mean? So it looks like he was making a way for himself outside of the tragedy that happened with young Dolph losing his life. He persevered and made sure that he made a way so that way he can get some money, built up a nice portfolio of houses, doing real well. Even when he got into the fight with Lil Migo in the airport, he was the part of his confrontation with Lil Migo. He was like, well, we both in first class. You just waiting for your homeboys to get out here because they're in the back of the plane. I remember that. So obviously, Grove Hero made some good decisions out here as far as how he was going to navigate being one of the only people out here repping for PRE.
And this isn't the first time someone associated with Paper Route Empire has been shot in Charlotte. In 2017, young Dolph's car was shot up in Charlotte. The late rapper was riding in a heavily armored SUV, so he wasn't injured. He later released an album about the experience called Bulletproof.
And just like young Dolph, man, to turn a negative into a positive, he did. He ended up getting shot in Charlotte and ended up making an amazing project from that. And ended up getting all sorts of praise because of, how braggadocious it was to survive a shooting and then end up making a mixtape to profit off of that same shooting. Now, Grove Hero right now looks like he's in the hospital. And earlier in that video, you saw he was basically letting it be known that he was shot and somebody else in his party was shot. So, man, let's actually play that one more time for y'all.
Oh, bro. Hey, bro, you old, bro. Yeah. Shot me, shot Ed, man.
So as you heard there, somebody in his party named Ed and him were both shot.
Overnight, a Memphis comedian says he was shot in
and you can see in the post, hold up, you can kind of see in the
Charlotte,
post.
North Carolina. In an Instagram,
he said, I'm finna die, little brother. People are saying that I'm finna die. It kind of got cut off, but something about that. And he's obviously making a joke out of it, even though it is a serious situation. But it looks like, man, he's gonna make it, man. It looks like he's doing all right. Now, I don't know if he's doing all right because any bullets or any getting shot at is not good for your health. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he's able to be mobile, get on his phone and talk about it is a good sign to say the least, man. So hopefully the best for Grove Hero. I mean, I just got to wonder if this PRE thing will ever end. I was live when this news story broke, but and that was my question about it. Will this ever be over? Because we know the rumors are that PRE has pretty much been up in the ante or been up in the score in the streets. And I hate to say it like that, you know what I'm saying? Bruh. But they've actually been, it's been rumored that there's been a lot of activity in the streets in regards to what's been going on between PRE and CMG. And we'll see how this thing plays out in the future. And I don't even know, and I gotta mention this. Just because he was shot in Charlotte and Dolph was shot at in Charlotte doesn't mean that CMG had anything to do with this. is just oddly familiar. It's just eerily familiar or eerily similar in this circumstance, man. So this doesn't mean that CMG put out the hit or anything or put the bag out. It's just wild that those two shootings happened in the same place. And luckily, it looks like they both will be able to survive. And we're hoping so for Grove Hero. But man, what y'all think? Because this stuff is getting crazy.